Good morning, Lufkin Central and online worship community. Jason Hollinger, the campus and community minister, coming to you from the couch once again. I'm calling this the couch series. I don't know, just trying to change up the spaces where we do these. But I wanted to spend our time together this morning reading from Micah chapter 7, verse 18. We'll read this verse, kind of share with you some thoughts that I have with it, issue our challenge, and send you on your way. You know, we just have today and tomorrow this week with our Jesus and Coffee morning devotionals. Of course, we have Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night evening devotionals. As long as I'm on my game, right, and don't have just too much, just a lot going on right now, and a lot of that's it's good stuff because got some things happening. So it's exciting, kind of being a part of these next things ministry wise, but we also have some things in store for our Lufkin Central family, and excited to share those things with you because we want to kind of make sure that we are intentional in in providing those opportunities for fellowship and for growth, and just sometimes sitting around a table sharing a meal, playing some games, smiling, just relaxing, right? And so we want to provide those opportunities. But let me jump into to this morning. As I mentioned, Micah chapter 7, verse 18. Who is a God like you, pardoning iniquity and passing over transgression for the remnant of his inheritance? He does not retain his anger forever, because he delights in steadfast love. Who is a God like you, pardoning iniquity? How many of us have people in our lives? How many of you have people in your lives that, man, it's like they're constantly holding over you the mistakes of your past, and yeah, but don't forget you did this, and so because of that, I'm going to do this, and all of us have those people. And now don't get me wrong, there is wisdom in recognizing consistent, persistent behaviors and holding people accountable, but there's a difference in forgiveness and forgetfulness. And we fall victim to this ourselves. It's not just from outside sources. Some of this is from that we do on our own, right? That we we forgive, but we don't forget. And listen, that's hard. It's hard to forget. And and I know I'm sound like I'm contradicting myself, but again, there's nothing wrong with remembering those things, but but not remembering them to the point that it stops you from helping someone. I've always found myself in moments of homeless ministry where people ask, "Well, do you think you've been burned by people before? You think you've been been told a story? Has it ever happened to you before?" I tell them, it happens every day. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to help somebody, right? I had a conversation yesterday. Went around town handing out some backpacks for the homeless and some water yesterday, and with a guy from down in Beaumont, and someone locally here, Stephen Jansen from Love Inc. And as we're going around, I mean, I tell them my thing is, I don't get so much caught up in the story that somebody's telling me, because ultimately there's a need, right? But when we read this here in Micah, what what we see is a very important question. Who is a God like you, pardoning iniquity? Because in other words, what they're saying is we can't find anybody else that offers this level of forgiveness that we find in God. Uh, all we do is we find constantly people that they hold it over us. They walk around with a sign behind us. They're constantly reminding us. My wife and I just the other night were watching a movie where they were at this marriage retreat, and the husband says to the wife in the movie, "I don't need you to point out when I'm messed up." Maybe not the exact words. I need you to be there, not to point out when I fall, but be there to help pick me up. Who is a God like you? Pardoning iniquity, passing over transgression for the remnant of his inheritance. Who doesn't say, "Well, I'm going to hold this back from you because you've done this"? He does not retain his anger forever. It doesn't say he doesn't get angry. He doesn't hold on to it forever because he delights in his steadfast love. Uh, we see God's anger at times, God's frustration with his people, but he delights in his steadfast love more so than his anger. So the storm isn't going to last forever. It may last for the night, but it's not going to last forever because the steadfast love of God. Because the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. We talked about this a few weeks ago, right? They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. Therefore I will hope in him. How are you going to hope in him today? And how are you going to model that not holding on, retaining anger forever? How are you going to let the steadfast love of God shine through you to those who have wronged you, but you have offered forgiveness to? And yes, you remember, you're aware of what they've done, but you don't hold it over. How are you going to live that out today? I can't wait to hear and see how it goes. Y'all have a great day. See you tonight. God bless.